I'm going to show some fun submissions today, but before we start, I thought it'd be a good opportunity, since me and Andres are here. We have Professor Joe here in instructor capacity. I just want everyone to understand he is here in instructor capacity, not to train. So if you want to learn anything from him later on, feel free to ask him questions. First, before we get started, we've never done this before, but does anyone have any questions about a particular move or something that we've worked on over the last 6 months to a year? Is there anything in particular that maybe you're experiencing trouble with? I know, Mike, you always have questions, start thinking about something. But this is a great opportunity to kind of have a back and forth about various different positions. Anyone having any trouble on anything?
Yeah, I got one for you. So
Wait, you're here in instructor capacity. All right, go ahead, Joe. What's your question?
So we get everything we want. Life's good. We get them here. We even push them over.
Yeah.
The elegant leave right here whenever they decide to get ornery with his foot and start kicking me in my armpit.
Oh, okay. Yeah. How to deal with that?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a great question. So for those of you that are unfamiliar about the Squid Guard, it's this movement that Joe just showed where we're actually just passing the lapel over the knee like this, here. And for a lot of you, this may actually be new because we don't really teach too much lapel guard here, believe it or not, for those watching at home. But you'll notice that whenever we're doing a lapel guard, you can see his lapel is actually stuck in his belt pretty securely there. And if I'm trying to pass that grip, sometimes you can have a little less slack than you want. So just one quick tip you can do is just before you set up your actual Squid Guard, if I kick this leg here, it's gonna open up the lapel here. So watch when I kick this leg, it really opens that lapel, and then now he has to reset his position, and when that happens, I can set up a super tight Squid Guard. So just right away, before we even get into the sweep that Joe had a question about, let's just try that. Kicking the leg, that's gonna open up the lapel nice and long. So now I put my foot past his hip like this, and when he goes to reset to face me again, that is when I'm gonna rotate. Notice how I rotated 180 degrees, my head is now facing this way, and I don't have my legs super extended through. I have just my ankle kind of resting on the taut part of the lapel here. That gives me kind of like a springy control with my hamstring. I can kind of like pull him forward a little bit, which is useful from the Squid Guard. So then from here, I'm underhooking and I'm gonna pass the lapel like so. Now we're in the Squid Guard here, and there's regular Squid Guard, and then we could call it like fakey Squid Guard. So we're like doing the opposite version this way. So regular Squid Guard would be like this, and then kind of backwards Squid Guard is here. So this is kind of the sweeping position, the sweeping type of Squid Guard where we're attacking and aggressively looking for like omoplatas and sweeping options. But maybe the more defensive mode would be here, where I can kind of relax and I've tied myself in the guard. He can't pass my guard unless he clears that foot, which is almost impossible to do. So this is a very great, safe place to be. So if you don't use this currently, I think you'll find that it can be a really effective way to just retain guard. So now let's go into the actual sweep itself. So this is the defensive mode. So I want to go into offensive mode where I'm shifting this way. And when you're in offensive mode, you want to have your palm facing you so you can pull his knee down onto your stomach. This is part of the answering Joe's question, is when you do the sweep, you want to have his knee as close to your belly button, actually below it as possible. That's gonna bring all of his weight onto his hands. So now, Joe, as you try and kind of get your weight back, you'll notice you can't put this foot back on the mat. It's stuck on me. So your weight is kind of permanently past my center line. Go ahead and try and sit back more. You can't really, right? The more you sit back, the more you enter into this sweeping zone. See that? So I'm kind of like letting you overcommit your weight in that way. And because I had your knee so low like this, you can't get that leg as easily. So that answers your question and kind of explains Squid Guard. Let's do it one more time. Squid Guard, we're gonna do from a cross grip so that I can have the underhook available. I kick this far leg first. This is like the initial off balance, the setup here. That's gonna make him have to reset, right? He can't just stay facing that way. And when he does that, that's when I'm gonna have a clean opportunity to set up the grip. Now I have it here like this. If I just try and do the sweep immediately, it's gonna be tough, and I probably won't be able to finish it too smoothly. So now's the opportunity to grab both hands here, bring his knee past my belly button as much as possible. That's gonna rotate him a lot. And now when he tries to back into me, he actually rotates in the direction I need him to sweep him. Whereas if he tries to turn the other way, this way, he actually can't, because look at how my knee kind of locks in on his thigh. and my foot over here on the armpit is also stopping that rotation to turn back into me, so I can keep him rotated past 180 degrees. He's like going that way now. So kind of unwind a little bit, go back, Joe, face me. So we went from here to here, but then to ensure that I can get the sweep in this direction, I have to make his head face over there. And the way I do that is just by pulling his knee down. Look how much it twisted his head. And now for him to have any semblance of a recovery or to not have his back exposed in this sort of awkward position, he can't turn to his left. So that leaves him one option, to try and kind of step around. And people always take this bait because they think, oh, that's the proper thing to do. But then look how easily I can sweep him. Now it's essentially just a flower sweep. Clear that bottom leg. This foot plants. And I have a super tight control on this so I can enter immediately into a stack position. So when that leg inevitably comes up and over, I can just drive all the way across and let go of that lapel to make sure I really stick that squid guard sweep. Let's do it one more time. And we'll all try this. And while you guys are trying this move, think about a technique you may have a question on. I challenge you to find a move that I don't have anything to say about. So here, I want to kick that leg. You don't have to do it every time, but that is the proper movement to do. Kick the leg. Rotate, make sure my knee is not on the outside. That's a common mistake. You have to have your knee on the inside. That's gonna give me a little bit more twisting power. See how just by kind of turning my foot and my knee inwards, it's twisting him? That's before I even tucked the knee. So I'm tucking the knee and kind of giving him a little bit extra twist here. And then a lot of the time, he's posting on that left hand. I can even start kind of giving that hand something to think about. So now he's even more tempted to step that leg over, of which I'm actually waiting for so I can sweep him with minimal effort, and then I can be heavy on this leg. Kind of like it's almost like a reverse side smash. I'm facing the wrong way, but I can put pressure there, and at this point, it's safe to let go of the lapel. But if you really want to secure the 2 points, you can be here, and as he tries to recover, I just bring him up towards his head more until I can slide through and pass. All right, let's give it a shot. On two, 1, 2. Yeah, you want to drive it through. And then that's the nice one, but kick on the elbow a little bit, yeah. As you finish the sweep, you have to kind of arrange your chest so you're already on the other side of his knee, because you don't want that matrix to happen, obviously. Yeah, that's not going to end well for your ACL.
Are you in danger of the matrix in that position?
Not if he does it properly, where his chest is on the side of the knee. Do you want to feel what it feels like?
That's what you were explaining with Joe at the very end.
Yeah, it's kind of about the pressure.
You should be off balance too. Okay, and you're doing it off of what grips? You're just hanging out?
I'm just hanging in, just here. I literally just put my feet on it like a little koala.
You want to be slightly off kilt so you have a good angle to push this?
No, it doesn't. I literally stay flat because it depends on what they give me. They give me this leg, I'm doing reverse down worm, this leg squid, so I don't care. But I'll kick this if I don't have enough lapel because it pulls it out of the belt nicely, and it's a nice big off balance. And then right after the kick, you're gonna step anyway, so I can just like use that as the setup. And then I like to use my left hand to kind of hook in here and give me a pull to help me get that knee through. Like this, and then even here, your knee is too high. I kind of like want it past my belt line, like this. And then when I start kicking this leg, you have to think about like what's gonna, what would you do to resist here?
Me?
Yeah, you would bail on the move, right? Yeah. And just try and go the right away.
Yeah.
So let's say you resist a little bit, like you don't want to get swept. It's like a bad position here.
I'll go here probably.
That's what most people do in this situation. I just get this nice grip, and then look how your knee's gonna kind of slide. And I'm just rolling through. It would be tough.
No, I definitely can't.
It would be hard.
I don't have, no, not at all.
And there's nothing to hook. Yeah. So then I'm just rotating like a hot dog this way.
What about prior to this? So come back. What if I bail early? Like, if I'm here and I'm like, okay, this is bad news. And I go here and start playing here.
I mean, this is my game.
Yeah. And honestly, like, I don't feel like I have, yeah, you'll just.
This is literally, I want you to do this.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to go like this.